I recently got back from cycling the Trans Pennine Trail, which is a coast-to-coast route here in the UK. It takes you from the Irish Sea out to the North Sea. And this is the very bike that I did it on. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that this isn't my normal bike. This is kind of a spare one that I cobbled together using random bits I had lying around the garage. I managed to get it really cheap because the frame had a couple of chips in it and a lot more to it. But if you want to watch a video about that, I'll leave a link up there and in the description. This is still a fantastic bike, but the reason I didn't use my normal Cannondale Topstone, which is my favourite bike, is because it was undergoing a few repairs. It had a few minor issues going on with it, and I just thought, for the sake of my peace of mind, I'd use this bike knowing that it would probably work versus one that had the potential to go wrong. And now it's back to working normally, but this bike was a real trooper. So in this video, I'm going to run through the setup I used on this bike to tackle the Trans Pennine Trail, and it's a little bit different to my normal setup, so stay tuned. Let's start at the front of the bike, and you can probably see that there isn't really anything there. I normally take my Old Man Mountain Manzanita cradle, that's if I'm going camping, but on this trip, I didn't actually do any camping. So of course I didn't really have a need for a front roll-up bag, but I do have my Redshift kitchen sink handlebar bag, and that's pretty small, but it allows me to fit things like my multi-tool in there, some snacks and my keys, just bare essentials. Let's move to the back of the bike, and this feels very familiar because it's pretty much identical to the setup that I use on the Cannondale. However, it is slightly different. I'm not running an Atlas rear rack on this one. Instead, I'm running an Old Man Mountain Elkhorn rack. I've screwed it into the through axle to give it a little bit more weight capacity, but it is a smaller, more nimble rack. It's probably more suited to fast packing, or if you're carrying the bare essentials, or maybe even doing a bike packing race, because it has eyelets in the side so you can screw bottle cages in there if you want to do it. But it did handle all of this weight incredibly well. You can still use it for that, but if I was going to be using this all the time, I'd probably switch to the Atlas rack instead. For the bags, I'm running 2 panniers, and on top I'm running an Atlas rear pack as well. They're all from Old Man Mountain. They kindly sponsored the channel and helped me go on epic adventures all around the world. I'm running the Ponderosa panniers, which are incredibly robust, waterproof, really good pieces of kit, and they fit really well onto this rack as well, very sturdy. On this side, I basically just have my drone. If you've ever watched any of my films, you'll see I like to use the drone a lot, and this trip was no exception. The drone fits perfectly in there. I can sometimes squeeze a waterproof or something in there, but on this trip, I basically wore my waterproof the whole time, so it was basically just the drone in that set of panniers here. On the other side though is where I stored all of my clothes, and given that I wasn't camping, I didn't really need to take a lot of stuff and not much in the way of electronics either. I would just take the odd battery pack that I could charge my phone with and some bare essentials. The reason I didn't need to take much in the way of clothes is I was actually staying at my house on the second night because it's on the Trans Pennine Trail. So the first night I stayed in a hotel, and the second night I stayed at my house, which was great. So if I needed anything, I could quickly restock and swap stuff over. So I wasn't too worried about carrying everything I possibly needed. And on the top of the rack, I've got the Atlas pack, and that's a 12-litre one, so the larger of the 2 models. The reason I go for that one is I carry a lot of filming equipment, so in there it's basically just all the cameras that I used, from the Insta360 cameras to this Sony FX3 I'm filming on, microphones, ND filters, batteries, etc. And that takes up most of the space. I can squeeze some warm layers in there as well. You can definitely squeeze more in than I do, but I like to have everything compartmentalized. So cameras in there, drone in there, clothes in the other side. Easy as that. If you're more of an experienced bike packer, you're probably thinking about now that this is a very rear heavy setup, and you're absolutely right. It's not ideal, it's not perfect. I only made the last minute decision to use this bike, so I just quickly found a setup that I thought would work, and it did work absolutely fine, but there was a lot of weight at the back. In an ideal world, I would have spread it out a bit, but it did work absolutely fine. If I was going on a more of a long distance trip though, I definitely wouldn't feel comfortable having everything over the rear wheel. It's just a recipe for things going wrong, bad handling, extra weight on the wheel, etc. But for this trip, it was absolutely fine. You'll probably know I'm a big fan of frame bags on bikepacking bikes because it makes good use of this space, but again, I had to make last minute decisions. I didn't have that, so I didn't have much in the way of storage here. I did have my trusty Topeak top loader though. That's where I store my repair stuff, inner tubes, pump, tyre levers and so on, and I make the conscious decision to move the best snacks to here so that I can grab them on the fly. So again, it's very simple, just a simple small top tube bag, 2 water bottles, and that is it. So that's the setup that I used to tackle the Trans Pennine Trail, which was a great adventure, and the full film of that is coming out this Sunday if you're watching this video live. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It is a good one. Before I end the video, if you've made it this far, you might have been thinking, why did you do this video? It's a pretty basic setup. It's not exotic in any way. It's kind of cobbled together on a bike that you don't even use that much. And that's kind of the reason I wanted to make it. I've said ever since starting this channel that it doesn't matter how you adventure, just go out and do it your way. And that extends to the bike. It doesn't matter what bike you use, whether you go camping or staying in hotels. I cobbled this setup together a day before I went bikepacking across the country from coast to coast. 250 miles, and it handled it brilliantly. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't. But it worked fine, and that's the basic premise you should take away. As long as it works reasonably well, it's good quality equipment, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get out there and have a great time. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.